I don't want to get away from this show without talking about this, and as I referenced at the top, it's a magazine called Grand Valley Magazine that the university puts out, and I happened to come across this. The Hauenstein Center has come into the possession of some real gems when it comes to books, and I don't know precisely what you'll do with them. I know you can't put them out for everybody to get their hands on because this is some pretty rare stuff. Where did this come from? And tell me about some of these books.
Well, again, the origins go back to Ralph Hauenstein, because Ralph Hauenstein knew a man named James Burgers, who was also here from Grand Rapids, and James Burgers always had great respect for Mr. Hauenstein. As a result of that, before Mr. Burgers died, he told his son, I very much would like to meet Ralph Hauenstein again, have you meet him. Well, Randy Burgers, the son, never forgot that. Randy Burgers was an educator here in West Michigan for many years. Randy Burgers had a meeting with me, and he said, you know what, since the 1990s, I've been collecting all of these books. There are about 600 books that have been written by the presidents themselves. I've collected about 450 of them. I don't know what to do with them. My wife wants me to get them out of the house. I said, Randy, we could have a home for them. Not a problem. I know exactly what you can do. We talked more about it, and the books then came into our possession as a permanent loan. Randy has already, since he donated these last fall, has already collected 50 more volumes. So he's up to, the collection is up to about 500 volumes now.
About 150 short of all of them.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have that much farther to go. And we will be the only place in the world where a scholar or a student or an interested citizen can come, look at the presidential writings themselves, see what the presidents said in their own words, and the Smithsonian Institution, the Library of Congress, Georgetown University, all already have recognized this as a unique presidential studies collection that puts Grand Valley on the map in that area. So we're very proud and very grateful to Randy Burgers and to Ralph Hauenstein for his support.
We aren't going to talk in specifics about this year's election because there is a lot of water still that must pass over the dam, but I want to ask you this. You've been watching politics for probably about the same period of time that I have. We have seen two successive presidential cycles that have been unmatched, that we've never seen like it before. 2000 certainly was rare. 2004 was an extremely unusual presidential cycle. Any reason to believe this one is going to be less unusual?
For people who do our work, this is the mother lode of presidential elections. You have everything to look at in this one. It's been so interesting. You know, when we were off air a few minutes ago, Rick, you made the comment about the enthusiasm, the young people who have been really engaged this year. I find that interesting. I find my classes, for example, very interested, and of course the analogy goes back to either 1980 when so many young people were interested in Ronald Reagan, or 1960 when young people were interested in Kennedy, that same kind of idealism. Thank goodness this is becoming a protracted election season. You know, I think everybody was thinking with the early primary season, everything would be over in February.
By Super Tuesday. Everybody,
by Super Tuesday, that's right.
Including this poorly advised reporter said that this thing would be over early in the year and that there would be this long lull until the conventions. Well, we were wrong.
We were wrong, and I was right there next to you, and I was just as wrong as everybody else. Thank goodness we've had a chance to get to know our candidates better. I think this has been a fascinating season. I think this is good for democracy to have these tough-minded debates. And also, we're getting beneath rhetoric, and that's what we need to do. And I think more Americans are tuning in, they're turning on, and as a result of that, we're going to have a more informed election, I think, in November.
We've heard it for years and years and years. When you were on college campuses, people said the young vote will make a difference. We heard it with Eugene McCarthy. We heard it all the way, 1972, we heard it with George McGovern. We heard it with all of these folks. And at the end of the day, the youth vote has always been, as a percentage of the number of people that could vote, it has always been a disappointment. Now, this year we've heard that there are more young people that have registered than ever. We see lots of activism on campuses. At the end of the day, will the youth vote finally find its voice?
You know, it depends on the fate of Barack Obama. I think that so long as Barack Obama was able to position himself as the transcendent candidate who was going to bring us together, I think this is what excited youth. As time has gone on, that perception has eroded. Not so much yet with youth, among youth, but certainly with, say, the guys, the gals our age. I think it depends on what happens between now and November with Barack Obama, how Senator Clinton positions him, and then how Senator McCain tries to position him. What happens in that? Is cynicism going to set in? I hope the cynicism per se doesn't set in, but it's just too early to tell.
And it is politics where there is always a big home for cynicism. Gleaves Whitney, it is always a pleasure to have you with us. Right now there are people saying, I'd like to get in touch with them, and if they go to their website, where would it be?
www.allpresidents.org.
It's the Hauenstein Center for Presidential Studies at Grand Valley State University. We'll see you before this year is out. Thanks very much for your time.
You can count on it. Thanks.
We're back with more To the Point in just a moment.